Okay, so this video is dedicated to the four tells. I guess there's more than four, but four main tells that I see, and we're going to break it down in kind of the regions that they're showing us. They're having a little bit of a breakdown. So four corners of the core. Okay, so we've got upper left quadrant, upper right quadrant, lower left, lower right. We could call it shoulder, shoulder, hip, hip, pelvic control, hip mobility, scapular stability, mobility of the shoulder. And so there's some tells when doing the get up that can be subtle or not so subtle that can help you see where you have a little bit of a breakdown there and have to explain where you might have some compensations. So let's go over the get up. If you haven't seen the get up before, excuse me, I have a video that is a intro to the get up, and I would highly recommend just checking that out. This gives you some of the setup and basic fundamentals to go through and practice with no weight whatsoever. It's a great way to just do some walkthroughs and really get to know the get up before you start using it as an assessment tool and a training tool. So here, as always, we're going to go. I'm going to use a 25 pounder. This for me these days is kind of a minimum weight. I think I've graduated to where I don't need anything. I do once in a while go a little bit lower to work on some real fine tuning, stability stuff. But for me, 25 pounds is a great way to go. For you, it may, and starting out maybe down 10, 5, even 15, 20. You'll work your way up quickly once you get it. But anyway, start with something moderate to medium or light. So hand under, hand over, bring it close to the core. We're going to roll through. And again, the setup's on the intro video. So this arm stays vertical. We call this the tree trunk. Okay, so straight arm, this doesn't move. Everything else happens underneath it. We don't want to be over here, be top heavy, off to the side. We want to be right over the shoulder the whole time. So that is one of the tells. If I go to move and my arm goes first, I call it like the tomahawk or a punch. It's like this goes first, out of position, and then you try to get up underneath it. Okay, so that's gonna be hard to do with a heavier weight. With a light weight, you can kind of get away with it, or with just body weight. But watch out for that tell. You want to just keep this here and get your core engaged, like a balancing right underneath it, and move that way. Okay. Another tell with this arm is a shoulder shrug. I'll watch people do this. This is how they prepare. And this is just basically jamming that shoulder up into the neck. You're leaving the core, you're making a big gap here, and you're gonna try to use your pec and your neck and all your muscles that should be more mobile to stiffen up. And so it'll be like this way up here and then kind of a broken core, and you'll find your way up there. So those are two. The other one we've got is this leg pops up. I'm gonna go here, and I go through, and as I transition from my shoulder to my elbow, this whole thing happens. I'm gonna kind of lose, really I wanna fall back because I just lost all that stability on this side. So as I plant through and that glute contracts on the side, that drives me right up and through, okay? The other one is this knee caving in this way. So if I go here, this will happen a lot also, where right about here, from the shoulder blade to the elbow, it'll be something like this. And that's extreme right there, but some of this knee caving over to here totally lost that stability on the back side. So we want to plant this heel, press out on the knee. There's some band exercises that can help stabilize that. The knee gets pulled by the band that way, and you plant out, and you want to be able to open that hip and lock that in. Okay, that's what it should look like. Right there, and back down. Okay, so those are the tells to look for. I'm going to go over some drills that you can use to help get those reconnected. One of them, let's say called the tree trunk, is just learning to get better stability in your shoulders, and that helps you really be aware that your core is supporting the shoulder, is supporting the arm, and not the arm leads and then the core tries to reestablish itself next. Okay, so that drill does really well for that one. As far as the others, doing some, if you think about it, it's kind of a rotating bridge on that bent knee side, and just being aware to kind of open the hips as you go. So if you have tight hips, that's already going to make that probably collapse in like that. This one coming up or this one going in, or both. So freeing up your hip flexors and just making sure you have quality hip extension That's going to get you started with that as well. So that'll help. And then you can come back to the get up and everything should function a lot better. You can put it all together in the get up. So that's a good example of one way to use the get up as an assessment tool and work out some of those little details before you load heavy and start doing high repetitions for the get up, and even before you go all the way to standing, because just right there, that transition to the elbow and hand, work that stuff out at the low level and create a good foundation, and everything else works better from there. And you can go to some more high level techniques in some of the other videos. So hope that helped out to understand that. And I'm going to make a video right after this that's going to show some of the fixes for that.